Like, he puts pressure on guys without throwing too many punches, and then starts to figure holes out, and the way he can explode and move in with one shot, my God.
Yeah, he very explosive. He's very explosive, man.
You see that short watching that wasn't for this music.
Work hard, sacrifices, discipline, time away from my family. How you gonna be
to a guy? What's a guy to a non-believer who don't believe in?
You finna see the champ at his goddamn best of the best of the best of the best.
Will he make it out alive? Alright. I'm judging the why.
I promise you none of these niggas gonna beat me. None of them. I'm gonna make an example out of Tio. That's the only thing I love.
New York is a problem! Yes, sir! You don't put these two killers in the same building! Woo!
This shadow boxing. 14 rounds all together with that, then my sit-up.
Shakur Stevenson is dedicated, and that comes through in how people describe his training and his fighting style. Joe Rogan wasn't casual in his impression because he did seem to be watching a fighter who knew exactly what he was doing inside that ring. His defense, control, and belief in his movements show that Shakur has certainly sharpened his skills.
In this field?
Yeah, to the end of the field.
Not
right
to the cone.
Not to the cone, to the other side of the field, yes.
Okay.
To the end of the other side of the out-of-bound line. You play football. Come on, you play JV.
Then you come back to the
Looking
cone.
great. Breathing is good. He's handling the load good. Got a nice spring. He got a good spring and good push. Good first step. I like where we are. And we still got a mud, baby.
Joe Rogan gave Shakur real credit when he talked about his defense and how he trains to fight. The first thing he pointed out was Shakur's Philly shell, saying he hasn't really seen someone use it that well since Floyd Mayweather. That's not a small compliment at all. Joe kept coming back to how calm Shakur looks when punches are coming at him. Joe also brought up one specific fight where Shakur chose to stay in the pocket on purpose. The opponent was pressing him hard, really trying to walk him down, and instead of moving and boxing as people expect, Shakur stood his ground. Joe made it clear that this wasn't Shakur being scared or getting stuck. It was him trying to prove a point. Shakur wanted to show fans he's not a runner, that he can stand right in front of you and still control the fight.
Best Philly shell since Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
His defense was incredible.
Yeah. Defense, and he stayed, and that guy was putting the guy from Golden Boy, I can't remember his name, who he fought, but was just a good fighter and was really pressuring him. And Shakur stayed in the pocket.
Yeah.
He stayed in the pocket.
He also said he's not going to fight
him a
that
runner
way
before.
anymore.
He's not a runner, yeah.
But he said after that fight, I'm not going to fight that way anymore. He said I took too many shots.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he wanted to like put on a show and show everybody he's not just a runner. He could stand in the pocket.
Right.
Then he's like, why am I doing this? I'll box the shit out of these motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean, he's
Which
a
I
silver
get,
medalist,
too.
that guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's
Yeah.
elite. He's elite.
Yeah.
And just one of the best, like, it's as far as skill.
What do you think of Crawford Canelo?
Shakur made it clear this fight with Teofimo was his idea from the jump. He didn't stumble into it or take it because there were no other options. He chose Teofimo on purpose because he wanted to push himself against someone he knows is elite. He knows Teofimo is skilled, experienced, and dangerous, and that is exactly why he wanted him. He already believes he can win, but he also knows this fight forces him to level up, mentally and physically. That challenge is the whole point for him.
We set this fight up, and I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter, I know he's on an extremely high level, and I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough set, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Lamont Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's done won belts at 35, won belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
Yeah, a lot of people saying that this is gonna be a tough fight for you.
I mean, they absolutely right to have their opinion. I already know this guy's good. I done came up in the amateurs with him. I chose this for that reason. Like, I chose this because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to put myself in a situation to where I'm able to raise my game up to another level. So that was my whole purpose.
Shakur said he approaches every fight the same way. His mindset is always to dominate so clearly that judges don't even matter. He doesn't want close rounds or debates after the bell. He wants control from start to finish. That chip on his shoulder is always there, and it's not specific to Teofimo.
Do you feel like you got to be real dominant in this fight? Because I mean, Teo, he from New York, and you know, you having a fight in New York, and the judges, man, you never know, yo.
He not from New York, but he not from New York. He not from New York. He probably was born in New York, but like being from New York is like I'm raised and I'm brought up in New York, and I knew him for years and years, and I always seen him out of Florida. Like that's where he was out of, Florida. So I don't look at him like a fighter that's from New York. So, but do I gotta be dominant? I think every fight that I set up, I want to be dominant. I don't care who in front of me. I want to dominate. I want to beat you to where judges don't feel like they can rob me. So I always got that feeling. I always got that chip on my shoulder.
Shakur also didn't downplay how he sees Teofimo outside the ring. He feels Teofimo does a lot for attention, even crossing lines just to stay talked about. Shakur believes that kind of behavior eventually comes back on you, especially when it's time to fight. To him, none of that noise changes what's going to happen on fight night. He sees January 31 as the moment when all the talking stops and everything gets settled in the ring.
If you do win this fight, what do you think it does for your career?
I think it put me top 5 pound for pound. I think it puts me like one of the best fighters in my era. I think it just established that I'm that guy. Like, I be one of the 4 kings that they call the 4 kings, and it also depends on the fashion that I do it. So it's gonna be interesting.
But what be going on with this Teo dude though, man? I be seeing these videos online of him making racist comments. You be seeing that, man?
I think he's an attention seeker. So even with the racist comments, even with the homo stuff that he was doing, I think he's just a big attention seeker. He gonna do anything to get attention on him, and I think he's going back.
Teofimo didn't stay quiet and also spoke to rumors that his power is fading. At 140 pounds particularly, he disagreed. He explained that opponents feel his power early and that changes how they fight him. They pause, doubt themselves, and that makes things not look as explosive. He noted recent opponents have been more cautious than aggressive, and just their reaction proves the power is still there and still respected.
First time moving up to 140. A lot of these guys could say a lot of things about me not knocking them out or whatnot, but they don't come and try to fight me after they feel this power. So it's for a reason. It carries. It does carry. I mean, I had a good showing with Arnold Barboza. He was #1, my mandatory, and he was too hesitant trying to commit to punches. So I think that it's just something that's going to be a rude awakening for Shakur.
He almost looked amused when Shakur was said to be the big favorite. Teofimo liked the doubt, saying that's when he does his best. He tied it to times in his career when people said it was too soon or too chaotic, and those were the nights he performed best. Being counted out isn't new to him. He uses it as fuel and not pressure.
I don't agree with that. I think this is a very tough fight to pick. But for you, right, it seems like every time the odds are stacked against you, every time people are picking against you, whether it's the Lomachenko fight, people said it was too soon for you, or the Josh Taylor fight, when there seemed to be chaos swirling around you in your personal life, and that was one of your best performances. Do you like this position?
That I'm someone that, is all about against all odds. I've been like that since me winning the 2015 U.S. Olympic trials and didn't, have my spot for the Olympic berth and to represent Team USA in 2016 Olympic Games. I think my whole thing's always been that way, so even Richard Comey, when I won my first world title back in 2019 at 22, against the champion himself, a lot of the odds were always against me, and I think that's when I perform my best, and I look forward to doing that again.
Teofimo didn't seem bothered by the whole friends in boxing debate and Crawford being in Shakur's corner. He basically shrugged it off, saying no one else fights for Shakur but Shakur himself. He doesn't believe in alliances or group runs in boxing. For him, this sport is about standing alone, taking care of your own business, and proving it when it matters.
Define the odds, man. Everybody be on that side. I think that they all have like some sort of group plan amongst each other. Even with Keyshawn Davis, they all think that they're going to conquer boxing as friends. I don't think there's friends in this sport. I think Malik Scott would also agree to me on that part. I don't think this should be friends. This is a fight business. This is not about, hey, I want you to conquer this division, I'll conquer that division, we'll all be friends and we'll be champions. This is not the Klitschko brothers era. So whatever Crawford and Shakur want to do, Crawford ain't going to be fighting for Shakur. It'll be Shakur in the ring with Teofimo.
Sean Porter leaned toward this being a tough style clash for Shakur, mainly because of how Teofimo moves. He focused on Teofimo's twitchy athleticism and how unpredictable his bursts are. That kind of movement can mess with Shakur's timing, which is usually his biggest weapon. Sean was clear that Shakur is elite at reading rhythm, but Teofimo does not always give a clean rhythm to read.
Pierre said, the twitchiness, that athleticism that Teofimo has is what gives someone like Shakur problems, because it throws off his timing.
Yep.
Shakur is flat out amazing. I've watched this kid. He can find anybody's time.
Right.
So if you give him the space with just lot of feints and stuff like that, he gonna still pick it up and he's still gonna find it. I got a feeling this thing is not gonna be boring and dry.
At the same time, Sean did not downplay Shakur at all. He pointed out that Shakur can figure anyone out if you give him even a little space. Feints alone are not enough to confuse him for long. Sean's feeling was that this fight would not turn into something slow or dry because Teofimo is naturally explosive.
Because I got a feeling, you're right. By nature, Teofimo is a counterpuncher. He's an explosive counterpuncher. He does not know how to punch. He can't really set it up first the way that he can when somebody's coming at him. We already know Shakur ain't gonna have a lot of offense for him. But at the same time,
where Sean really separated the two was in how he described their personalities in the ring. He saw Shakur as controlled and sharp, someone who knows exactly when to move and when to strike. Teofimo, on the other hand, was described as a wild card, capable of doing something unexpected at any moment.
I think about it like this: Shakur is an ace of spades, but Teofimo Lopez is a wild card. He's still liable to do anything at any point in time, and I just got a feeling that it's gonna be like a Tasmanian, well, like a hyena and a lion, and it's like, is the hyena gonna be able to pounce on the lion enough to get the job done, or is the lion just gonna be able to make his moves, do what he need to do, and snap at him and get him when he want him to? The lion being
Greg Hackett leaned towards Shakur winning. He kept saying his mind is changed because Teo is dangerous when you block out the noise outside and simply look at the fighter. In his opinion, Teo remains strong, fast, explosive, and unpredictable, which is just hard to ignore. Greg admitted part of him keeps thinking about times Teo might catch Shakur or push him with constant pressure. Still, he picked Shakur by decision because Shakur knows how to win rounds, handle moments, and be ready for big fights. Where Greg drew the line was in what Teo would need to do to have any real chance. He thought that Teo couldn't sit back and play a calm, chess-like game with Shakur, as that would fit Shakur's strengths. Greg thought Teo must be more aggressive than we've ever seen, rougher, busier, and ready to throw combinations instead of waiting for that one big punch. He noted that Shakur punishes mistakes quickly, especially when opponents miss and pause. That's why Greg stayed with Shakur in the end. Jermaine Ortiz thinks this is a great matchup, but Shakur will win because the styles will fit so well. In his opinion, this isn't about hype or names, but about who can control the fight better. He believes Shakur's movement and discipline give him the edge, adding that he expects both fighters to do their best on fight night, even though he clearly favors Shakur to win. When asked about his own fight with Teofimo, Jermaine talked about the fighting style that stays the same. He said landing clean punches on someone like Shakur will be very hard for Teofimo. Nothing Teofimo did surprised him, and everything happened the way he prepared for. That's why he thinks Shakur will be hard to hit, and unless Teofimo can consistently close the distance, Shakur will control the fight. At the end of the day, this fight comes down to pride, timing, and who really believes they own that ring. Teofimo sees this as someone stepping into his territory and trying to take what he built. Shakur sees it as being underestimated and disrespected, especially when people talk like they already know the ending. Once that cage door closes, none of the past talk will matter. Who do you think takes this fight? Drop your pick in the comments and tell us how you see it ending.